although both my parents were disbelievers, or agnostic, I would say, they really wanted me to have a cultural background. And I also was very interested in learning Hebrew at the time. And I was sort of the protege for my rabbi. I did very well in Hebrew school. And at age 12 was kind of being geared to go to yeshiva, high and university, and then with a rabbinical sort of track. And then at 12, as I'm getting ready for my bar mitzvah, which was a really extraordinary experience, the cantor of the temple had escaped communist Hungary by swimming literally across the Danube. And he'd been an opera singer in Hungary because he had not been allowed to practice as a cantor. And so he had the most unbelievable voice. And I used to, when he was teaching me my Haftorah, I would deliberately make mistakes so I could hear him sing, because it was like being transported to this amazing place where his voice just stirred me in some really fundamental way. I'm getting off a little bit, but my rabbi, this guy, I think his name was Eli Taub. He was, at the time I was not large. I was a 10-year-old, 11, 12-year-old, so I was probably, short for my age. And he was short. And he was sort of a lot like my grandfather. But at 12, when I began to realize my sexuality and that I was gay, I couldn't express that to him because I knew how disappointed he would be, because at that time, the culture was very different. We didn't have gay rabbis. In fact, I didn't know any people who were gay, although in retrospect, I know there were some women in my grandparents' family who were, quote, sisters who lived together for 50 years, who we found out later were not really sisters, but who everybody said were sisters. And so I had to tell the rabbi that I couldn't go to Yeshiva High, and he was devastated. And I was so upset because I didn't really have the language to explain to him what I was going through. But I knew that this being gay I couldn't do anything about, but I could do something about being a rabbi or not. And at that time, they seemed totally incompatible, because there was nowhere in the Jewish culture where gay identity was being even talked about or acknowledged. And it was pretty homophobic for many reasons that we could talk about. But so I ended up not going to yeshiva, ending my time at Hebrew school when I entered, I think it was the 9th grade, 10th grade maybe, and started taking Spanish as a language requirement, and really couldn't spend time at Temple keeping up my Hebrew. So I regret that, because I loved the language and I loved the singing that the cantor had taught us about.